Hello, beautiful people. Well, today is going to be quite of an interesting video for you because we have an update on Lilibet's birth certificate. Especially, I have been getting so many really nasty comments from channel of Lady C. I am sure she has no control over um, what her subs do or say. But I just find it interesting because I usually, as you know, if you notice my channel, I try to stay away from anybody. I tried to build a community a long time ago. That went wayward because then they were trashing me behind my back. They were ridiculing me. They are still contacting members of my family, harassing members of my family. So I do my own due diligence. I don't have time, nor do I ever go on my channel to trash or disparage another YouTuber. Okay. So today I'm going to give you, because there are so many comments and things went too far. They reported me to YouTube, asking YouTube to take my channel down for reporting absolutely fake information and abusing children. That's what I was reported for. So thankfully, I got the email where it says you have nothing to worry about because these people are stupid. Do they really think I'm going to put out information like that, especially that is so sensitive, without corroboration or running it by YouTube? I mean, I don't understand where this comes from. I don't understand this need. And it's always around the birth certificate. It's always centered around whenever I talk or bring facts about the birth certificate. I did not create the government websites. The government websites are there. So right now, I'm going to show you everything. And as I said, I don't make innuendos. I can't say the people's names. Lady C did a video because I'm going to show you the comments. I had to delete quite a few because they were vulgar, they were rude. I'm not saying she was, I'm saying the comments from her subs or from people that are being sent from that video, which is really odd because she went on another big YouTube channel, Dan Wooden, and she basically corroborated what I said on Dan Wooden's channel. And it goes to show you how the 24-hour cycle news is that people forget. Rather than coming to my channel and leaving those nasty, rude messages and reporting me to have my channel canceled, and both times are always around the birth certificate facts, which should say something, because why are these people so hell bent on people not wanting to find out the truth about these children? So we're going to get into this video. What you're watching right now is directly from my YouTube studio. These are comments. I had to, because I'm not very techy, guys, I had to ask a friend to help me out, filter words. So now anybody who leaves a comment that has Lady C or Lady Colin Campbell goes directly to hell. That's a feature for basically that. As you can read, these are some of the comments that I left that were not vulgar or rude. Paula, please don't jump on all the conspiracy bandwagons. Lady C has already called you out on Lily's birth certificate without naming your name. Candace Owen, I did have respect for her until she came out with the Brigitte Macron is a man nonsense. Paula, would you re-clarify again about the CA birth certificate number for the Sussex little 3-year-old girl? YouTube channel HG Tutor, I think that's a channel that's always done live trashing me, released a videos recently where someone tried to tell him presently see birth certificates now have a number the 105, and that it has been 105 for Santa Barbara since 1996. Okay. It seemed to indicate HG agreed with that person. Fine, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But I thought, and I'd understood, I am leaving the nice comments, okay, because the other ones I can't show them here because they're incredibly rude. Okay. And then it says, Lady C commenter was saying that the pertinent registration number was the one on the top right side of the birth certificate, not the left. Additionally, that it still contains digits pertaining to the year 21 and to the area, which is Santa Barbara 42. But that California certificates uniquely don't bother to include digits of for state 104, unlike all other states. Yes, wonderful. I remember. And then Lady C is refuting what you're saying and the birth certificate. She does not name you, but I'm sure it's you because I listened to your podcast of the certificates and blah, blah, blah. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, again, another one. Okay. Paula, Lily was born in California. The codes were changed years ago. Love your channel, but please check the facts. Okay. I mean, these are just some, as I said, I have left the nice comments, but it crossed the line when my channel got reported. In order for it to be taken down, for me, publishing information that was HIPAA information. Again, we all remember that live, Steph, the alternate with Sue Smith, when they did that, saying that I was lying. What they refused to do was scroll down a little bit where it says, and I'm not calling them out, this is not me rehashing it, but I have to say this now because my channel, once again, has been reported because for some reason they want to take it down every time I come up with some facts. That's called censorship. And I don't know why they do that. Why is it so wrong that we try to find out the truth of what's going on? I know that they hate me so much. They try to discredit me. I don't care. I'm not here and maybe they don't like my delivery. I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know I'm not funny. I know I'm not like that because for me, I can be fun sometimes when the topics are serious. I try to deliver the seriousness that the topic deserves. And for me, this is quite as serious because if the royal family went along with it, which in my opinion they did, even if they found out late, they should have done the correct thing. And they should have told Harry and Meghan, we know what you did. So this is what's going to happen. You are going to voluntarily put out a statement saying that you do not want your children in the line of succession and that you do not want any titles for them. They could have done that. They could have arm wrestled them into that position because by then they would have known that Harry and Meghan had committed fraud against the United Kingdom, which is treason. That is the modern definition of treason. If a royal member tries to defraud the country, the United Kingdom, that is treason. And anybody who covers it is also an accomplice and it is treason. And the king can be removed for that. So that's why I'm doing this. I really just wanted to keep on my channel doing my things, but it got serious. So I have to give this explanation. And I hope you watch it because what I'm going to show you is not my fault that these are the facts. And as I said in my video, it might have been a clerical error that can be fixed because they also in my video, if you watch that video I did, it said if there was a mistake made, they tell you to fill out this form and correct it. And so there is that option. And I also talked about that as well. And I showed the link because it could have been a clerical error. But as I said, it's just amazing that that clerical error before Parliament included a child in the line of succession, because yes, it is Parliament that does it. They have to review the documentation. So you're telling me that UK Parliament, MI6, and the entire royal family did not review that the documentation was correct. Second, another anomaly on that birth certificate is that in the entire United States, titles are not allowed on a birth certificate. For example, Harry cannot be His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex. Those cannot be his names because, as you all know, in the United States, and this is law. This is why Rachel Meghan Markle appears in the fake certificate that they put out as Rachel Meghan Markle, because the law states that the parents have to put the name they were given at birth. Harry's name is Henry Charles Albert David Mountbatten Windsor if he needs to use a last name. This is why Lilibet and Archie, before they got their prince and princess titles, their last names were Mountbatten Windsor. But people forget that. And then they go, oh, it's Meghan Sussex. How is she Meghan Sussex? When it's clear that Meghan had Lily in the birth certificate that all the newspapers published as Mountbatten Windsor, that the royal family had them on their website as Mountbatten Windsor until they changed it to prince and princess titles. But people don't do reasoning. They don't do critical thinking. And they go with whatever anybody says. I am not saying that I have all the answers, guys. God knows I make mistakes, but I am willing to correct them. If I'm wrong, I've done it in quite a few videos. I said, oh shit, I made a mistake about this. But in this, I am presenting to you the facts. I showed you that because I have tried seven times to get a copy of the birth certificate of Lilibet. Not only me, Bookworm, and other YouTubers. And we always get the same answer. There's no birth records of a child born in the state of California with those details. I've shown you the emails I've gotten. In fact, guys, I've forwarded them to Dan. So, there's no manipulation. So he can see the things. Dan Wooden is a responsible reporter. He's not going to put out stuff or use my video because I sent them all the information via email. And because, I don't want to expose my personal private email that I use, but I did send it to him. So he has all the info. He's not going to put out some crap without reporting it because he knows what this means. I am not speculating. I am telling you, this is what I found out. Now, when I found out the information, this is what I did. I called, sorry, I have to do this because I want to show you directly from my phone. That is the number of the Vital Records Office of the state of California. It was done on May 8th. You can see outgoing calls. I did 2 calls, 25 minutes, 45 seconds in total. Why did I do those calls? Because even after receiving and seeing all the information, I wanted to make sure that before I put this out, that it was correct. So I called twice to talk to 2 different people because I'm old fashioned. I called. Pidina was born in Ohio. She and her nieces and stuff. They all start with 134 because that is the birth area code. I did not make this up. So I am going to show you something. And this is the last time I'm going to address this. I am going to keep finding out more information, but let's look at things realistically. This is the video that Dan Wooden did using my information. I had sent them all the receipts by email, okay? Like the state laws, the direct government laws, the emails, everything. Lady C appeared there, and she says, isn't California area code 104? So if she didn't know, she could have said so then. So she's basically agreeing with what I said with Dan Wooden. By the way, that video is one, I think it has one of the most views on Dan Wooden. It has almost 600,000 K views. One of the most viewed videos. Remember how I told you that I called on May 8th, the Vital Records office? It's because I had sent them, I received an email from them in response. I wrote to them, by mistake, my son has 105 as birth area code. What can I do? And this is the response. Okay, the birth area code in response to your inquiry, California birth area code, and I'm going to read you the whole body. The reason why I'm showing, I can't show you the direct email because it has my personal email address, and I of course I'm not going to share that. So this is what they said to me. In response, the birth area code for the state of California, in response to your inquiry, California birth area code. The birth area code for the state of California are the first 3 digits located in the upper left-hand corner of the birth certificate. California's birth area code is 104. If your birth certificate has a different birth area code, you can correct it by filling out an online application. We may ask for additional documentation before a corrected birth certificate is issued. In some cases, you may be charged a fee. For more information, please check the link below to ensure you have the correct birth certificate. And this is, as you can see, I'm just following it up, and you can read the number. If you still require help, please contact our general customer line at 916, which is the number I showed you. And then they have the privacy note, and there's some other stuff that I can't show you at the bottom because it has a name. So I can't show it. As you can read here, how do I find my birth certificate number in California? And then they give you a description what a birth certificate number is. And then it says, since 1948, birth certificate numbers assigned by U.S. state registrars are usually 11-digit numbers in a uniform 3, which is the area code, the 2, the year, and then the 6 numbers at least. Okay. The first set of the three digits is the birth area code, which represents the state of birth. For example, 104 for California. The next series of two digits is the year of registration, typically the registrant's birth year. Meanwhile, the last set of six digits is a number assigned sequentially upon each birth registration in the state. In California, a birth certificate number may start with the second two-digit series. Birth certificate numbers in California are usually displayed in the upper left-hand corner. Thus, anyone who has a certified copy of a birth certificate can easily determine the number. Individuals who do not possess a copy can request one from a Vitals Records office. Note that the birth certificate numbers of California birth certificates filed before 1948 may look different. As you can all see here, this is directly from the government's website. This is not my website. I don't have anything to do with this. And it tells you, reviewing, this was last update, effective dates from the 08/05/2010 till present, because they updated a few things. And it tells you again, since 1948, most state registers use uniform numbering system. It's 11-digit number. And I know where the confusion is because I asked this of the ladies, and she said that after 2000, and even in some states now, because the millennium, now they do full year. In some instances, depending on when the child was born, even before 2000, they might have a full year. Tell you, verify any birth certificate with the issuing agency when the birth area code number does not agree with the assigned birth area code number. And then they tell you, follow G and blah, blah, and local procedures to verify primary evidence of age, because they want you to make sure that you have the correct birthing area code. And then they give you the list of birth area code numbers. Okay? And it's very clear here. California is 104, Colorado is 105. The United States government agency official websites are the ones saying that. I have never claimed that I said this or that I made this up. It was even implied that I used a fake birth certificate that I created myself, even though I don't know how to do that. But the only reason for that there are a few exceptions is in Louisiana, because prior to 1988, some Louisiana birth certificates may begin with 119. New Orleans used to use the birth area code 117 until I think it's July 1st, 74, when it merged with the Louisiana state system. So now it's 117. Maryland is 119. Baltimore used the birth area code number 154 until the early 1970s when it merged with Maryland state system. And I want you to keep this number here. Massachusetts is incredibly important. It's 120. Massachusetts, it's 120. Boston does not use the birth area code. New York is another oddity, because if you were born in the greater area of New York, you have the 131 birthing area code. It's only if you are born in New York City, then your area code is 156. And Pennsylvania uses a 7-digit number. The last digit is always a 0, followed by a hyphen and the year of birth. Again, this is not me pulling this out of my ass. This is the government's website. Now, apparently, this is a document that was sent to YouTube in order to demonstrate that I was harassing and putting information, that I was harassing a child, basically. That my channel should be taken down because I was harassing a child because of this document. I don't know who posted it or whatever, but it says here, details natality record in 1996. And if people were able to read, they would understand this. It says, expanded state of occurrence. This item is designed to separately identify New York City records from other New York state records, right? So, because 05 says California and 06 Colorado, correct? They're going by alphabetical order. So YouTube legal team investigated, and this is why they said you have nothing to worry about, because basically people are using something from New York. I have no idea, but this is how desperate they are for the truth about the birth certificate records not to be found or for it to come out. And I have a theory about that. But before I tell you what my theory is about why people are so dead set against finding out the truth about Lilibet with hard, cold facts, let me show you, because they're saying that the number on the right hand side is the one that determines the birth. It's the actual number, right? But here, the number on the right hand side, it starts with 120. And what, remember what I showed you with the 120? What did I tell you that the 120 was important? Because that would mean that Lilibet was born in Massachusetts, not California. So just right then, it doesn't make sense. 21 is okay. But then you count the digits: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digits after the 21, not the 6 that they say. Now, the one on the left hand corner has 105, 2021, and 6 digits, which makes more sense. Now, we know for a fact that this is law in the United States, that you're not allowed to use titles as first and last names. You can put it in the profession. For example, Harry could have put Prince of the United Kingdom. He could have put that as a profession. If you're a professor, you can put professor in your profession, or if you're a doctor, but you have to use the name that you got at birth. So this oddity, the Duke of Sussex as his first name and His Royal Highness, would not be allowed in the United States of America. I don't know what else to show you. I have left the links on this. I do not understand why people are so hell bent on trying to trash my channel. They have done lives whenever I have gotten close to this topic. They have tried to disparage information that it is in black and white. This is not information. Again, I say that I'm pulling out of my ass. And yes, Lady C went on Dan Wooden and said she agreed with it. And from what I understand, I don't watch her. I don't watch many channels. And in fact, I have them blocked, most of them, because of what they did to me, because of the lies they spread about me. I don't claim to be perfect, guys. You know that I ask questions because I want to know how those children are in the line of succession. This is not right, because if the king allowed it and still allows it, he is committing treason. Because what is wrong? You know what people are saying? Oh, it's too late for the crown. Why is it too late? They can arm wrestle Meghan Markle and Harry and say, we know what you did. Because you see, the credibility of the monarchy is what the royals are one thing. Monarchy is an institution, just like the presidency is an incumbent. The current president is an incumbent of that position. But you have to keep it in order for the monarchy to be respected, credible. They have to be transparent. And we all know they're lying. We all know they're oddities in that fucking birth certificate. We all know that there is no doctor on earth that's going to allow a geriatric mother to leave after 1 hour of giving birth, a complicated birth, by Harry's own account of Archie. I'm talking about Archie now. And basically slap and wipe her ass and put her in a van and send her back to Frogmore after having 2 epidurals. And we know that it is an impossibility. No doctor would ever have a bath birth with an epidural. Because Harry says that Meghan Markle gave a bathtub with Archie, which is an impossibility. So, and then we have this article of this woman, Liz Jones, or whoever the hell her name is, saying, well, people are trolls because they question how the doctors allow Meghan Markle to go from the hospital to Frogmore Cottage. But she doesn't give an explanation. How? Why was this allowed, Liz Jones? Can you please tell me? Why don't we know the names of the doctors? So I'm doing this video not to disparage Lady C, not to disparage anybody, but because I have to do it because they wrote to YouTube with that stupid 1996 document accusing my channel of harassing a little girl just because I'm asking questions that have constitutional ramifications, which is valid of me to ask questions. But apparently, we can't ask questions. We can't. Apparently, I'm not allowed to ask questions. I'm not allowed to present facts to you that I find. I don't know why these people do that. I don't interfere with their channels. I go about doing my own thing. I have presented once again to you the information. I'm going to leave you the links once again. So even if it's the number on the right hand side, like like apparently a comment that they said or something, it still doesn't match because Lily wouldn't have been born in Massachusetts. But if you consider yourself to be a responsible person who does not like to disparage others, if you don't know, don't comment or say, you know what, let me find out. But then you go on another big platform like it is Dan Wooden and you agree with what I'm saying. And then 3 days later, for some unknown reason, I am being trashed. I am being discredited for presenting facts that are given to me by the United States government, not by some random gossiper or source. The United States government of America has those laws. I wonder if these people bother to call before they trash me or they answer that comment. If somebody sends me a comment, you know what? Let me look at it. I'm going to call. And then I'm going to responsibly address that comment. I don't disparage people in my channel, but I've been forced twice now to do this because twice they've tried to take down my channel. I'm not saying Lady C did, but she must have known that with her comments, what would come with her comments afterwards. You be the judge. I've given you the tea on everything. I've shown you the email. Well, by the way, the email I sent to Vital Records, I ran it before YouTube legal team to say if it was okay for me to show it. I am not that irresponsible. I sent all the information to Dan Wooden, which is why, as a responsible reporter that he is, he felt free to show that information. I don't understand this. I wish it would stop. I can't make it stop. Everybody's free to say whatever the hell they want in my channel and their channels. But it's always incredible that whenever I bring something that is cold hard facts, because you see, this with the birth certificate, these are cold hard facts that the monarchy has to address or they have to correct the birth certificate. It means the MI6 Parliament and the royal family did not do their due diligence before including those children in the line of succession because they have to verify that the details provided are correct. So that means that Parliament knows that Lilibet either was born in Colorado and they're complicit in the royal family as well, which is a hard pill to swallow because I love the monarchy. I am a monarchist. And I would like to see the monarchy be transparent and not have these things. What is wrong with amending the Succession Act, saying that children born in the only children born in the United Kingdom and royals permanently residing in the United Kingdom can be in the line of succession and can hold royal titles? What is wrong with saying that? That is an incentive to have these royals live in the United Kingdom and be born in the United Kingdom if they're going to be representing the United Kingdom and all its realms. And I know many of you who are new to my channel, you don't know I am Canadian. So unfortunately for me, Charles is the monarch, is the head of state of Canada. And Harry and Meghan are doing all these crazy things using royal titles. You know that thing where Harry said that BBC interview when he said that his position hasn't changed? He's right. He's still Counselor of State. I showed you the email with the response from Parliament where they told me that Harry's still Counselor of State. He's still fifth in line to the throne. He's still on the royal website. What has changed? He is right. Nothing has changed. His position and his status has not changed. So draw your conclusions and please let me know what you think. This is not a call to action to trash anybody. This is just me trying to put this forth because they have threatened my channel. Thankfully, YouTube saw right through it because I run everything by YouTube, guys, especially when I put something this sensitive. I check, I double check. I'm an old fashioned woman. I'm 56 years of age. I do not speculate, especially about stuff like this. This is not me attacking Lilibet or Archie. This is me questioning the validity of two children included in the line of succession with no proof and with very questionable stories of how they came into this world. You be the judge and tell me if you believe that the 105, and again, those birth certificates, I couldn't get them through the vital records. I got them from the Sun, from the Daily Mail. So, you know that the previous live that they did saying that it was illegal because it was a HIPAA violation to request copies of birth certificates, then that means that the Sun, that the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, TMZ, they all violated the HIPAA. But apparently that's okay for them, but not okay for me because I was telling you the truth. In the state of California, anybody can request a copy of a birth certificate. Okay. Or marriage certificate of death certificate. You will get it with redactions, of course, because, and it will say like what you saw, that this is a copy. You cannot use it for any legal purposes. In Colorado, oddly enough, only if you're a relative, you can get copies of a birth certificate. So somebody like me, I won't be able to get it. So let me know if you believe that Lily was born in California. And if you have information from the government that contradicts what I'm saying, I'll be happy to get it because I'll be happy to recant, or I can call back and say, hey, listen, I got this from this person because you know I'm like this. I got this from this person. Can you please verify? If it's because they gave me this, I will be happy to. I have no problem. And again, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, guys.